Yo, what up, y'all? I'm back with another video. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I wanted to touch up on the video that you just watched. And as I watched it, I was a little disgusted, and not because she was disciplining her son. No, that was not the case, because how many of y'all have got that belt to your butt when you were younger? Plenty of us. How many of y'all got yelled at when you were younger by your parents because you did something they didn't agree with you on? Many of us. How many of y'all ran while you got chased around the house because your mom grabbed the belt or she grabbed her shoes and she was ready to whip your ass? Plenty of us. But nowadays, it seems that parents cannot actually do that anymore. And do you want to know why? It is because I believe your children do not belong to you. They don't. They belong to the state. They belong to the state. How do I know this? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I know this because if you discipline your children in a certain way, all they have to do is call the cops, and guess what? Someone is coming to pick you up. And that's exactly what they did to this mother who disciplined her kid, who disciplined her son because he was not doing his chores, because he did not want to do his chores around the house. He went to his neighbor's house to play games and he did not finish his chores. So she decided to discipline him. Now, here's where I disagree with her on the hair pulling. She should not have pulled his hair. That was uncalled for. I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me on that. She should not have done that or went to that extreme, because then it becomes abuse. We have to draw the line between disciplining and abusing your children. And I get it. I see exactly why they may have called the cops, or why the cops may have came and picked her up after they saw this video. Now, to my knowledge, her young child recorded that video, then sent it to the older son, who says that he was beaten by his mother as well when he lived in the household, when he lived under her roof. He also said that he experienced some of these beatings from his mother. That is one of the reasons why he was happy to leave home whenever he did. And so the youngest child sent him that video knowing that he might be the only one that can help them or protect them. Now, is this abuse? Or was she actually just disciplining her child? Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are on that video, because we always say that we need to discipline kids in order for them to be what? In order for them to be productive, in order for them to be good people, in order for them to be able to go out into the world and be productive human beings, productive adults. We have to instill morals in them, right? Right. But where do you draw the line between disciplining your kids and abuse? Again, was she abusing her child? I know y'all have seen the video where all those young girls attacked that mother who had sickle cell, and they attacked her son who tried to shield her from a beating that she received by these young kids. And when I say young, I'm talking about under the age of 14, I believe. They jumped this mother due to bullying her son, bullying her child. Her daughter was also there, and she also saw the beating herself. We say that these kids should definitely be beat by their mothers. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. They should receive a beating. They should get that belt to their ass, but most of them won't. And that is the reason why they do the things that they do, because they are not disciplined. Okay, so if she didn't discipline her son, do you think he would be like those children who attacked that mother and her young children? Do you think he would come out on top of the world whenever he grows up? Or do you think he would be a menace to society? Because a menace to society is created where? They are created in the home, nowhere else. A menace to society is raised in the home. A menace to society usually does not have a father around, because a father usually instills what? Those moral values in their children. A father usually does what? Disciplines their children logically. See, I believe that mother was so emotional as she beat her son that she went too far with it by pulling his hair and throwing him up against the wall. That was a little extreme. I mean, you're not fighting a grown woman. You're not fighting a grown adult. So why did you go so far? It is because she got very emotional. What do I mean? Let's say she was having problems with the father, because I did not see a father around in that household. Let's say she was angry at the father for whatever reason. Who do you think she's going to take it out on? Let's say those kids look like their father and she hates his guts. Who do you think she's going to take her anger out on? Her sons, right? Starting from the oldest one to the middle to the youngest. And so she is disciplining him out of emotion, not logic. When you discipline someone out of feeling and out of emotion, you go too far, because you actually start to see red and you forget. You forget exactly who it is you are disciplining. You don't see them as your child anymore. You see them as a grown adult. You see them as that person you hate. So you start to go beyond the means of disciplining them. And that's exactly what she did. Have you ever pulled your child's hair? Have you ever pulled your daughter's hair or your son's hair? Because if you do, that's extreme. My parents never did that. My family never did that to us. Did they whoop us? Of course they did. Most of us got whoopings. Why do you think I am the person that I am today? Why do you think I'm as accomplished as I am today? It is because I got my ass whooped. Of course I did things I wasn't supposed to do, just like some of y'all who may view this video that are young, that are in your teenage years, that are in your 20s. You're probably doing things you're not supposed to do. But I get it, because at that age, who are you going to listen to? You think you know everything already. And so your parents, society, your teachers, your mentors, no one can tell you any different, because you're going to do whatever it is you want to do. But guess what? When you are young and you get that belt put to your ass and they put that fire to your ass, guess what is going to happen? You're going to think twice before you do certain things. And I know this young man, he's definitely going to think twice before doing certain things. But at the same time, when a mother goes to that extreme as to pull her son's hair while disciplining him, it may create some type of trauma also. And you do not want to create trauma when you discipline your child, because then they will start to associate whatever it is you did to them with that trauma. They will start to associate love with that trauma. They will start to associate a mother's love, a woman, a man, whoever it is, whichever parent it is, they'll start to associate that person or that parent with trauma. Yes. Sometimes people, they trauma bond. Because they've gone through some trauma in their childhood, just like a beating, and they trauma bond together, and that is the only thing that holds them together as a couple or otherwise. And so you do not want to traumatize your children. You don't want to traumatize your child while you're disciplining them. Find another way. Because those children in Chicago who attacked that mother and her son, trust and believe, if they were being disciplined, they would not do certain things. They would not do the things that they did as far as jumping on this mother. Now, I'm glad that the mother made it out. And when I say made it out, I'm talking about there were rappers, celebrities who came out and helped her out. From what they're saying, I'm not sure how true it is, from what they're reporting, a rapper flew her out, bought her a house, gave her some cash and a new car. That's what they are saying, because she did not feel safe living in that neighborhood, and I get it. Who would feel safe living in the neighborhood knowing that your child is getting bullied and you got jumped by the children? Now, let me ask y'all another question about that case. What if they messed with the wrong parent, with the wrong mother, and she pulled out on them? She pulled something out on them, and she hurt one of those children, and she hurt one of those kids. What do you think would have happened to the mother? Those parents would have been outraged, right? They would have been angry to the point where they probably would have rode to her house and done something to her if the cops did not get her first, because she would be locked up for defending herself. And that's exactly what she would have done. Y'all parents have to understand something. Whenever your kids are out here being a menace to society, they are risking their lives. And if their lives get taken, guess whose fault it is? It's your fault for not putting a belt to their ass when you had the chance to, for not putting a belt to their ass when you were supposed to, for not disciplining your child. Especially if you are single, whether you're a single mother or a single father, if you're not the disciplinary parent in that household, then guess what you need to do? You need to find a disciplinary parent who's going to discipline those children. So if you need to take your son, your daughter to her father's house, to his father's house to get disciplined, that's what you need to do. Find someone who's going to discipline those kids if you don't know how to. Because As children, we definitely need structure. And if you don't create structure for us, then guess what's going to happen? We're going to turn out like these young kids that jumped on a mother and her young son and beat them up for whatever reason and start to bully them. That's exactly what's going to happen. And let me ask y'all this, what type of future do you think these kids have? What type of future? Because I already know where they're going to end up, trust and believe. I don't have to follow their lives for the next 10, 15, 20 years because I already know exactly where most of them, if not all of them, are going to end up. Why? Because of their behavior as children. And we know that they are not being disciplined, especially when you go on their parents' social media sites and see what type of parents they have. Yeah, I implore you to do that. And you will see exactly why these children jumped on that mother and did what they did, because their parents are no better than they are. And so this woman who got arrested for beating her son, disciplining her son, and going too far, hey, it happens. You have to take the emotions out of it when you're disciplining your children so that you don't go too far. And if you're a parent who doesn't discipline their children and you don't put a belt to their ass and you try to discipline them in another way and you see that it isn't working, well, there's only one thing you can do. Go buy a better belt. And discipline those kids, because if you don't, they will turn out to be a menace to society. Until next time.
If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.